June 24th, 1992. Ben Nevis, Britain's highest mountain at 1,344 metres, shrouded in cloud. Today, a team from 3-para will attempt to break the world record of 7.5 hours set by George Simpson 64 years ago for driving a vehicle to the summit.
We're doing the practice run now, and we'll be back.
Breathing. Good job you're not running about, isn't it?
I'll put this on the edit. Is that your last square meal then?
Yeah, definitely. Don't want to give it to him, his belt's going to snap.
Realise something, you know, it's had a shave this year. That's very nice indeed.
It's all right.
You like your beard well?
You ought to have got to kill you, Bob. Why? I've been well against those that I pulled out at the front.
The mood in the camp has been light-humoured as the team prepared themselves and the vehicle, a Land Rover 90 turbo diesel, for the long day ahead. Team leader Mick Doherty explains the details and reason behind their record-breaking attempt.
Well, yeah, no, because we're going to have a crack at breaking a record of claiming Ben Nevis by vehicle, which is 7 hours 23 minutes, which was set in 1928 by George Simpson in an Austin 7, believe it or not. It's not been broken since then, 64 years. The track that he followed can't be followed anymore. You've got to go on the far side, which is very, very boggy. And after the recent heavy rain, that might be a bit of a problem. We'll see. Hard work for the two lads here. It's actually an aid of the Airborne Initiative, which is the Airborne Forces charity, which raises money, and it does various character building schemes, and will also go towards the building of a hut for use by the brigade in Glencoe. I don't know when that hut's going to be built, but plans are all well underway. We're fairly confident. Now, we're quite confident. We've done a lot of work, a lot of very hard work, clearing the track and crossing the bog, doing the river crossings, and the track when we first came here a week ago was impassable, but a lot of hard work and sore fingers later. We're about right, and we'll give it a crack, and we're fairly confident. Thank you. That's Bob Nails Collins. And J. Harry Walker. J. Harold Walker. Look very serious there.
Always look serious.
Harold will be lost on everyone watching this video apart from your immediate friends.
Oh, he's going to mention the winch.
Yeah, you got to mention the winch. And from one damn fine fellows who making me a job. As you can see, there's been quite a bit of work put into preparation of the vehicle, and we've got our sponsors to thank for that. Safety devices provided us with the roll cage, which I hope we won't have to use. This is a full external cage which fits outside the cab of the vehicle. It's extremely robust, and like I say, I hope we don't have to use it. But we took the vehicle down to their workshops and they fitted it, measured up, fitted it all for free. BF Goodrich, who also sponsors, they supply the tyres, which are a 10.5-inch wide mud terrain tyre, which will give us plenty of grip and also a bit more flotation than the normal tyres in the bog. Now, the idea of this is so that in a normal tyre we might sink into the bog and will cause a bit of environmental damage, as well as obviously not doing as well in the time stakes. To avoid this, we've gone for a wider tyre than we'd normally have fitted to the Land Rover, and hopefully we'll overcome this. At the same time, Weller have supplied a set of alloy wheels which will reduce the weight on the axles, and every little bit helps. And they did that through BF Goodrich, Alan Baldwin, and that was very helpful. We've also been supplied with a winch at cost price, well, a bit below cost price actually, very good deal. We've got the Warn 8274 winch, which is a powerful, fast electric winch. The fitting kit came with it, and that was fitted by Peter Troop, and we've used it a couple of times so far, and it's very impressive. Good stuff. Moving round, you can't actually see them as they're fitted in the axles. We've also got the Quaife diffs, and they're a limited slip torque bison diff that, well, a torque bison as opposed to a limited slip diff, which will enable us to get across some of the bits which you wouldn't be able to do otherwise. They don't allow one wheel to spin freely with the other wheel on the same axle, static, so that in a normal situation where you may get cross axle and you've got one wheel spinning and digging in, this will not happen here, and it has already proved very helpful. As you can see, we've got Slick 50 in the vehicle. This is a friction reducer. This is in the gearbox, the engine and the diffs, and this just reduces friction, it increases mileage and all that. We've got that in to, obviously fuel consumption isn't a great problem on this. We've got that in just to help reduce this, and if we start losing some oil out of the engine or whatever, or we crack the gasket in the gearbox, then we're not so worried about the actual loss in oil, because the friction reducer will help overcome that. Land Rover's also helped. They've loaned us a backup vehicle. We have a 110 TDI, which has proved an excellent vehicle. As we towed the 90 up that we're going to carry this time, we towed that up on a trailer so we don't have any last minute problems with it, and proved an excellent tow vehicle, plenty of space. We managed to get everything in, and it's been a great help.
With every detail checked and double-checked, the team leave for Inverlochy Castle. Anything forgotten now or not working efficiently could prove a disaster on the mountain and lead to ultimate failure in the record attempt. Inverlochy Castle, and start point of George Simpson's original run, and also now for the Paras, who aim to follow the 1928 route as closely as possible.
3, 2, 1, go!
And they're away, with a grueling task ahead of them. The old route crosses the busy A82 Fort William to Inverness Road. Here the team have to divert through the Alcan recycling plant. With several narrow footbridges now added to the lower section of the old route, it can no longer be followed by the wider Land Rover. Alcan kindly allowed the team to use their service track, which climbs up across the moor towards the foot of Ben Nevis, from which point the team can rejoin the original route. It's a normal working day for Alcan's smelting plant, so caution is required as the team drive through the factory area and across the railway track. Once out of the factory, the race against the clock is really on, as Mick Doherty pilots the Land Rover up the winding gravel track. Mick concentrates hard. Team members and tyres take a hammering as the Land Rover negotiates the track as fast as safety allows. Any time that can be saved here will be invaluable later as the route gets higher and much tougher. A boulder-strewn riverbed is the first of many obstacles. Jay Walker and Bob Collins prepare to guide the Land Rover through. Into low ratio, and the Land Rover is eased off the track into the riverbed. Mick watches carefully. Any one of these large boulders could crack or break a differential case or gearbox housing. A close call, but the Land Rover only suffers minor damage to the sill. It serves to remind the crew of the unforgiving nature of the mountain. From here, the climb upwards begins as they start the moorland crossing. Extreme caution is needed. The moorland bogs could completely swallow the Land Rover, so Jay Walker and Bob Collins run on ahead to guide Mick Doherty around the hidden bogs and up onto the mountain. The weather is already starting to close in, and clouds roll down the mountainside. By the time the team rejoin the original route across the moor, an hour will have elapsed. Redburn Gully, and the weather has really taken a turn for the worse, while walkers tread the path about to be taken by the Land Rover. Will it be wide enough? With visibility almost down to zero, Bob Collins climbs up the mountainside to look for sound anchor points. The track here is not as wide as the Land Rover, and there's a chance it might slip off the edge, with a drop of 700 meters to the valley floor. The team plan to attach their winch cable to the anchor strops. If the Land Rover does slip over the edge, then they'll be able to winch it back onto the track. To make this process as safe as possible, they use a two-point attachment. If one point should fail, hopefully the other will continue to support the Land Rover.
Let him out, Mick! Mick! Let him out! Wait!